Hello and welcome back to Let's Play RollerCoaster Tycoon 2. I've already started working on the next coaster, which as I mentioned before is a Hypercoaster. And first I started off with making sure that the trains, maximum length trains can fit into the stations to maximize profit, and it's also a bit easier to build with longer trains because they have more momentum going over hills and stuff. And then I've made the second station right next to the first one because, as I've said, this is going to be a racing slash dueling coaster. And then I've made sure the entrances and exits can fit underneath these huge hills here. This coaster is a big piece of work and it requires a lot of tweaking so the system works perfectly and no train gets caught in any block breaks or things like that. So the building of this is gonna take most of the episode, not much else is gonna happen. I could have edited some of the building parts out, but I wanted you guys to see how much work it requires to get this to work properly. I even have a separate recording where I build this without any mistakes or deleting or things like that, because I wanted to make a tutorial video out of this, but that proved out to be too much work, so I scrapped that idea. So instead of that, as I said, you'll get to see every single edit and tweak and removal and all those things required to make this work. You might have noticed something different about the background music. Well, since this is the last episode that requires background music, I thought I'd just go for broke, and instead of that free crap that you get from YouTube's audio swap library, I would put in some quote-unquote real music instead and try to choose something that won't get blocked in any countries and things like that. So I chose a couple of trance and techno songs or whatever, electronic music in general. And so far, when I did a test upload with only the music, only one of the songs got recognized by YouTube and got a copyright notice, but it's only that kind where you may get some ads appear next to the video, so it's not gonna be blocked in any countries. Usually most of my RCT videos get blocked in Germany for some reason, so it sucks for them, but hopefully this one won't. All of these songs are pretty old, since I thought maybe that would help with them not getting a copyright notice. They're like 5 to 10 years or something, so not prehistoric, but old anyway. This first song is from a Russian band. The second one is from Italy, and the third from the UK, and the fourth from Israel, so we got a nice diversity going on with the bands here. Anyway, enough chit chat, let's talk about the coaster itself for a while. I've pretty much finished the first section where they race against each other side by side, the trains, and now they're going their separate ways into dueling mode, or whatever you want to call it. And actually pretty soon after this they're gonna meet again for a while to race each other again. There's a good 4 minutes left until I get this coaster to a state where I can actually test it, so thought I'd take this time to list my top 10 games that I would like to make a Let's Play series out of, besides of course RollerCoaster Tycoon 2, which you're watching right now. So at number 10 we have Meier's Civilization 5. It's a turn-based strategy game about world domination and such. Very complex military, diplomatic, economics and things like that. And it also has a new expansion coming out called the Gods and Kings, so maybe I could play that, or any of the old stuff. I pretty much have all the DLC that has come out so far, so a lot of options to choose from. In 9th place we have Sawyer's Locomotion. Fans of the RCT franchise probably recognize the name Chris Sawyer because he's the creator of RollerCoaster Tycoon. He also made other games, and one of my favorites of those is called Transport Tycoon, and Chris Sawyer's Locomotion is a newer version of that. It's made with the same engine as RCT 1 and 2, so very familiar to RCT players. You build transport companies in it and transport goods and people with trains, buses, trucks, ships and airplanes as well. Coming in at number 8 we have Cities in Motion, which is sort of a modern 3D graphic version of Locomotion and Transport Tycoon, except that you only transport passengers and within one city at a time. So it's like public transport systems with subways, buses, trams, trolleys, boats and helicopters. And in 7th place we have Borderlands, which is an FPS/RPG where you go around this planet doing stuff, killing things and collecting a bazillion of different guns. Every gun is unique in that game pretty much. In 6th place we have everyone's favorite farming and mining simulator, Minecraft, which probably doesn't need more explanation than that. At number 5 we have Terraria, which at first may seem like just a two-dimensional clone of Minecraft, but once you get into it you'll notice that there's a ton more of monsters and weapons and furniture and things like that you can build. And it also has useful NPCs that can, like, for instance, heal you or sell you things. And then there's a lot of boss monsters, and defeating one of them actually activates a new hard mode where you get all new monsters and weapons that are really cool. In 4th place we have Fallout New Vegas, which is an RPG set in a future where the world was turned into a barren wasteland by nuclear weapons a few hundred years ago. So I thought I'd play that in a special mode called Hardcore mode, where you actually have to take care of thirst and hunger and sleep and things like that. You also don't heal like you normally do, and ammunition to your guns actually has a weight value. So I thought I'd focus on using melee weapons and also play as a bad guy and side with the bad guys who do things like enslave people, things like that. Now we have the coaster finished here, so let's talk about it for a while. It's pretty close to the final design except for the last few parts. In retrospect I should have built the station further away from the Enterprise right there to leave more room, but that's too late. So now you have video at normal speed for the first test run. You can see the train going while I check on these rides. It took me so much time to build this that many of the rides need adjustments to their ticket price. Now the train's going into the first drop, almost 100 kilometers per hour. Close but no cigar. Then approaching the first block break there, another train waiting for it, but then the other train doesn't depart at the same time, so this will need more adjustments to get it right. Sometimes it's such a pain in the ass to keep track of these ride ticket prices that I wish there was a mod that would do it automatically. Stupid ghosts, come on, I'm not paying that much to go on Aladdin's magic carpet ride. Fuck you. Get out of my park then. But I can't find the park exit. Help me. Okay, I'll drop you in this water here. Goodbye. Alrighty then, the train's coming to the station, so the first test run is complete. It wasn't successful at all, so we need to make adjustments. Gotta fiddle around with the block breaks and number of trains. There I tried changing to 4 trains, but that's not the answer. 6 is the proper amount, but this move here, removing the top of the lift hills, is crucial because it eliminates a block break point right there, so they'll continue straight on side by side without stopping at the top of the lift hill. The second song is starting. Shh. I don't know if I really need all that bass. Oh, I think you need all that bass. This sounds awesome if you have a good subwoofer. While the bass is thumping, let's get back to the countdown list of top 10 games that I would like to make a Let's Play series out of. So we are at number 3. We have Age of Wonders Shadow Magic, which is the 3rd game in the Age of Wonders series. It's a turn-based strategy where you are in this magical world. You're a wizard, you build cities, buildings in them, and different units. You have several races to choose from, and then you fight other wizards. And there's a campaign story mode where these shadow demons come out of another dimension and start wreaking havoc, so you fight them. You can of course cast a buttload of different spells, from fireballs and lightning to summoning monsters and enchanting cities and items. And then you can also have heroes who use those magical items in combat, and they gain levels and things like that. Basic units also gain levels, but not as many as the heroes. And then there's a lot of exploration involved, since the map is full of caves and magical nodes and useful buildings like windmills and mines and guard towers and inns where you can hire mercenaries and things like that. So it's very versatile. And at number 2 we have a very similar game that actually inspired me to get Age of Wonders Shadow Magic, and it's called Master of Magic, which is one of my all-time favorite games. It's basically the same as Age of Wonders Shadow Magic, except there's no campaign mode, and of course it's very old, from 95 I think, so the graphics aren't that good. It's basically like Civilization 1, except in a fantasy world with spells and monsters and those things, and you have 2 different planes you can go on using spells or these special towers. And finally at number 1 we have XCOM Apocalypse. It's the 3rd game in the XCOM series, made in 1997, and it's a tactical strategy game with real-time and turn-based elements. There's this strategy section where you are always in real time. You manage things like personnel, research, engineering, bases, vehicles and things like that. And then there's the tactical section, which can be played in real time or in turn-based mode. You send your agents out on missions into buildings where you control what they do, like shoot, throw grenades, kneel, run, crawl or walk. The story is that in this future city called Mega Primus, these mysterious dimensional gateways appear in the sky suddenly, and then UFOs start pouring out of them and sending aliens down into buildings to infiltrate them. And then you are the commander of XCOM, whose mission is to eradicate the aliens and eventually go into their dimension and destroy their buildings for good, so they don't come back. And this is one of my all-time favorite games as well, and I thought I'd play it on the hardest difficulty, which is called Superhuman. I've done it once before, but this time I wouldn't load the game if something bad happened, like one of my agents dying or things like that, so play it more realistically, so to speak. And there you have it, the whole top 10 countdown of games that I would like to make a Let's Play series out of. So cast your votes in the comments of this video or any other video if you like. You can vote on all of them if you want, but of course voting on only one or two will make my job much easier of choosing which to play. Also keep in mind that I haven't tested recording all of these at all, so it might not work out for all of them. The ones that I do know that I can successfully record are Fallout New Vegas, Terraria, Minecraft, Borderlands and Civilization 5. Also the older ones like XCOM, Apocalypse and Master of Magic seem to work, but there may be some audio problems with those, so I'll have to do some more testing with them. In the meantime, gotta get back to talking about this coaster construction. This section right here you can see I'm building. It's gonna be in vain because it'll end up deleted anyway. I made the mistake of thinking that I have to extend this side of the coaster to get the timing right, but it actually was good length already, so I'm eventually gonna delete this section and return to the original design. But here I go with another test run. And once again I take the time to check on some rides because their ticket prices need constant adjustment. Like this catapult right here, no one's going in. So we gotta see what's the problem. One guy said he's not paying enough, so that's the problem. So now the trains leave the station side by side and also go the first portion nicely, but then when they come to the block break the other one stops because this train over here is still going through all those helixes. So now I realized that this part was unnecessary, or at least that it was too long, so I'm making adjustments here, make it shorter. But as I mentioned, what I should have done is just keep it the way it was originally. The third song started a couple of moments ago. This is the one from the UK and it was also featured in Need for Speed Underground. So if you played that game you might recognize this song. I certainly did play and I liked a lot of the songs they had, so I have many of them in my collection. I finally moved on to building pathways to this coaster. To the exits, gotta move this waste disposal out of the way first. There we go. And then the other exit, but then I noticed the track is blocking the way, so I moved the exits one space. One thing I haven't realized yet is that the track is blocking the entrance of one of the other stations, so gotta make another adjustment soon. But right now I'm doing the exit path over here besides the Enterprise. There we go. Then I'm thinking of a way to connect these exit paths to each other. That way the mechanic won't have to run all the way around the Enterprise. So I tried going over the station, but it doesn't work. The track is in the way, so I'm gonna end up doing it under the station eventually. But right now I'm focusing on the queue line. There it is, one station done, and then I realized again that this extension here was unnecessary, so I removed it and started another test run. And now I realized the other entrance is blocked, so I gotta shorten this, or actually change the hill there. Then I'm doing the other queue line. At this point the left side of the track is still a bit too long though, so I'm gonna shorten it eventually. But now we have the tunnel there going underneath the station, connecting the sides. Gotta adjust the queue lines so they fit nicely, and there's some room to extend them that way, so why the heck not? There we go, both have been extended, and then I noticed that the timing is still off, so I removed this small helix here, We're getting close to the final design because I think that was the third or second to last adjustment needed to make this perfect. Meanwhile, I'm hiring handymen to take care of this new area. A lot of pukes about to show up when I finally open it. I'm running out of ideas what to talk about at this point, so just enjoy the music for a while. Once again, a train stopped at that block break, so more adjustments are needed. Gotta add a block break right there. And then another test. And I've yet to realize that the left side needs shortening once again. But we'll get there eventually, don't you worry. Slippery slide hasn't been fixed, what the fuck? Lazy ass mechanic, come on. Do your job. And there we go, finally the trains went through that block break together side by side. And now I've slowed down to normal speed so you can watch and go. At the end of the video you'll get to see both trains side by side in separate windows go through the whole track, and also a viewpoint on the last part of each train. And now you can see the train on the right arrives at the station before the last one, so we have a problem again. There's one train stopping at the block break, so now I'm finally shortening this side to what it should be. There we go, time for another test. I've lost count how many it's been. This is a piece of work to get it right. In the meantime, I'm thinking of some scenery. Colosseum is the only round thing to fit in those helixes. Surfing on the waves of sound and adjusting some prices again. Space rings needed one, and the slippery slide as well. This is the song from Israel, and I've changed the ride entrance style to abstract on this coaster and the Enterprise as well. And we have an award for the most beautiful park in the whole country. Oh, there was a slight delay at that block break there, so one itsy bitsy final adjustment, add one piece there to make it that small bit longer. But I'm having some trouble to find the proper design that fits. Come on, you can do it. There we go. And I decided to lower the lift hill speed to 8 kilometers per hour so that the trains have more time to go through that first block section. So it's less likely that they'll stop at the first block break. And I have added bins and lamps and benches to these new paths. There we go. So now it's time to make a name for this coaster, and it's called Hyperventilation. Very genius once again. Time to choose the colors. For now it's gonna be black, red and gray, but that's not the final color. So finally it looks like the trains are going through the whole track without any snags. I adjusted the minimum waiting time to be higher so the trains have enough time to get fully loaded, maximize the profit, baby. Actually the minimum time is gonna be 38 or something seconds eventually. And I'm checking on rides again, everything's going smoothly. And it's finally that time. Test results, come on baby, give it to me. There we go, 99 kilometers, 2 minutes 15 seconds both. Nice cheese, 24 drops and things like that. But where do we have the excitement and other ratings? Come on, give it to me, give it. There we go. Excitement 10.505 actually. Intensity almost 8 and nausea 6.4. Very nice. Weird though that the excitement is qualified as very high instead of extreme. It should be anything over 10, should be extreme, but it's not. It's 10.10 or 15 or something like that. I'm not really sure. Space rings adjustment once again, nobody's going on to it, what the hell. Here we have a normal speed view of the trains going through, whee, side by side onto the brakes. Yes sir, it's all going smoothly. To the helixes and more drops, more twists and turns and a photo, smile. And then they go towards each other, separate and meet again right here. That timing, it couldn't have been any more perfect. I got really lucky with that actually. And then they are going in their separate ways once again, not paying much attention to each other. So that's not much dueling right there, but anyway, they're gonna meet about here once again for the last or second to last time actually, because they meet back at the station, of course, right there. The train on the right was a bit slower, but at this point it doesn't matter, because as long as it's gone past the second to last block break, it'll allow the next trains to enter that section. So now I'm back to choosing colors, very indecisive as usual. Maybe some red or pink or magenta or purple or this or that or that or this or this and that. It's actually gonna be blue for the track thing, yellow for the rails, and I'm not sure if, I think it's black for the support. Yeah, there we have the... Nope, I still decided to try something else. There, just switch that yellow back and we have the final colors. So now on to trains. Going to go with different colors per train. That's my favorite style. I'm gonna have a red train, orange train, yellow train, then a pink train, and a purple train, and then brown for the last one, which I am going to later on change to green though, but for now it's brown. And I have achieved the scenario objective! Yay! I didn't even have to focus much on stalls, just did what I usually do, and the stalls took care of themselves and raised my profit to more than 1,000 per month. Oh, and there you saw the date, which I recorded this 23rd of September 2008, one day before my birthday that year. And we got a lot of guests going into hyperventilation already, and the profit has gone to 45,000 per hour and 5,000 guests per hour. Oh my lord. And it's gonna cap out at 50,000 per hour, I think. And I added a coliseum just for show, maybe some houses here. Since this park doesn't have any space theming, I was thinking maybe some urban stuff would be nice here. And now the guest amount is already up to almost 6,000 per hour. Oh dear. That's making me a lot of money. Profit has gone up to 10,000 per month. Nice. And now I'm finally changing the last train to green. Fits more nicely than that brown or teal color or whatever that's called. So now I'm setting up the on-ride view for you. Both trains side by side, and also the last cars of both trains gonna be at the bottom. Oh, by the way, I should mention, completing the scenario objective does of course not mean that this series is over. No way. I've got video at least up to year 12 already, and then after that I'll start recording the commentary while actually playing the game instead of afterwards. But here we go, down the first drop, two full trains. They're going... Nope, they didn't go over 100 kilometers. Weird. I thought they would go that 1 extra kilometer with full trains, but nope. There we go, into the butt brakes. Onto helixes. More huge drops. Approaching the on-ride photo, so smile and pay $3. Thank you very much. Come again. And there's the separation port, and then back again. Hello, and gone again. Goodbye. Over the second trains there on the left hill, nicely timed through more helixes and helixes and helixes. You gotta love helixes. And then they meet again right here. Yay! Colosseum for the win. And back into the brakes and the station. There you have it. And this episode is almost done. Coming up in the next episode is mostly scenery building, but also a couple of new gentle rides. You'll finally get to see this in widescreen and also have game sounds, all those clack 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 and whee and barfing sounds. And remember to vote for your pick on what other game I should make a Let's Play video series out of.